Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to show and tell number 143. So, we have some WIPs to share. We have some finished objects to share, so I told you guys last week when I was sharing the Avery Lane collection for this month, the subscription box, which by the way, yummy. Dirty Little Secret's the name of this one. But I told y'all while I was sharing this that I was trying to really bust through getting that video done so I could start getting ready because I had an exciting weekend ahead of me, and I did, and it was awesome. So my husband and I flew out of state to go meet my nibbling, and I got some baby cuddles. I got some little like tickles, and I managed to meet a newborn and not get pooped on or puked on. So, very exciting. Had a lot of fun. Got to hang out with my brother and his wife. Got to have a long weekend hanging out. Got to explore a new state that neither Tor nor I had really spent any time in. So yeah, that was the big deal. Is I went to go meet her and catch up with some family that I hadn't seen in a while. And it was really, really nice. I did share a picture. I didn't really say what I was doing, but on Instagram, I did share a picture of me crocheting in the airport. Hence the my bags are packed post on Instagram if y'all happen to see that. But it was a great flight. We had a little turbulence on the way out. But yeah, we left first thing Thursday morning, and we only got delayed for like an hour and a half Thursday morning. And then coming home, we kept getting delays. Like we went to church, went back to the hotel and everything and changed clothes thinking, okay, well, we've got like 40 minutes to get to the airport. Then it's like another 30-minute delay. So it's like, all right, we'll drive around for a little while. And then it's like another hour and a half delay right as we get to the airport. And it's like, well, we could have gone over to my brother's and hung out with him for a little extra time on Sunday if. But anyway, that was Florida. I always say, blame Florida. When in doubt, flying, blame Florida. It's always Florida's fault. Never fails if you got a southern flight. It's always Florida's fault. It's just how it is. So yeah, it was a very, very busy weekend. We did a lot of visiting and sightseeing and exploring an area we had never been. Church services were absolutely wonderful. I'll have to check my videos and see what this is doing sitting here. That's not part of my stuff here. I don't know why that's there. Anyway, that was my big weekend. The cats did great with a cat sitter. One of our neighbors came by and fed them a couple of times. She even cleaned the litter box for me. So I came home to a clean litter box on Sunday, and the trash company actually finally picked up my trash again, which was great. They left it all last week, and this is like the third or fourth time they've left it this year. So yeah, I bought myself a shirt. I didn't buy any yarn on this trip. Troy did. They had a huge Michael's and Joann's, and he's like, well, you can go over to the craft store if you want to. And it's like, yeah, I kind of want to go to a bougie one if I'm going to a craft store. And we just never had time. We did too much visiting and eat. Oh my God, the food. We did not eat a repeat cuisine. We had Mediterranean, Japanese, Chinese. We did have for breakfast it was omelets, but what else did we have? Mexican. We had a more authentic Mexican. I had a cactus salad. It was delicious. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to give too much detail about where they live because they're their own peoples. Hence why the baby picture has the baby backwards. But let me tell you, she's adorable. She is precious. we were right at the point like she can really see, and she's her brain's developing a lot of stuff really, really fast. So cranky time means only mommy and daddy can fix crankies. So it was pretty much like wake up, diaper change, eat, diaper change, maybe 45 minutes of good cuddle time before she was ready to go to sleep again. So she has like a little cycle that she's going, but like cranky time, she was like done. But I did get, right as we were trying to leave Saturday night, she curled up and fell asleep on me. So I did get some sleepy baby cuddles. But over the next couple weeks, you know, that big old brain is going to develop and go through its next stages, and she's going to be all like calm and peaceful and stuff. So the next time we go visit, I'll get a lot more cuddle time in, and a lot less mommy and daddy have to take care of the baby because the baby's doing baby things. Anyway, slide my WIPs out of the way in the basket here, and I'll start showing you some finished objects. I did get a lot of crochet time in because, once again, cranky baby didn't want auntie cuddles or uncle cuddles. We did discover she likes bluegrass. That was fun. They need to come down here to the Lexington Barbecue and Bluegrass Festival. We can go visit my grandpa, and we'll just drive on over and see them, and she can listen to all the bluegrass music she wants to. All the banjos she wants to. All right. I had to dig out my finished objects down here. So, first one is the magnificent mantle that I shared with you guys last week that I had already started. So, it did get frogged. And not because I didn't like the way the colors were working up, but because I found the rest of my faraway cakes. So this is using, I obviously have not woven in my ends yet, but this is using Lion Brand Mandala and Far, Far Away. I did, not hard, but softly control the color changes on the outside. I did not control anything on the inside. This used like 2.5, 2.25 cakes of the mandala. Well, it has a few less tails hanging off of it. Obviously hasn't been blocked if I haven't even woven in the ends or anything, but by the time it's blocked, you know, it'll easily be 5.5 feet at the top edge. So it's a little stiff in the center, even with the, I think this is an extended single in the center section. Even with that, it's a little stiff with this yarn. I probably would have gone, even though this is supposed to be worsted weight, I would have probably gone up to probably a K hook maybe. If I didn't, I may need to go up one more with it with that tight of a stitch. But I love how it turned out. I do love how the colors worked out in this. And it's a little bit more cohesive than we were getting with the mermaid tail and the Far Away. I still don't know why that just was not visually appealing. I am really glad that I found the other 2 cakes of Far, Far Away. I thought that was the one I had multiple cakes of and was planning on doing a whole shawl with, and then somehow they got buried under a bunch of other cakes of yarn. So, but that's one finished object. This is another one. If you watched Thursday's video with the Avery Lane collection, you will have already seen this, but I did decide to close it up like the pattern says. So this is, I have the pattern because I'm doing it again already. Stitch Music by CJ Brady Designs. And I love this pattern. When I made it, it's made in a triangle as I shared it on Thursday, but it's meant to be stitched in the back to close it up, kind of like a little bandana cowl. And see if you can, yeah, you can see this one has been blocked, so you can see the square lace pattern as well as the V-stitch lace pattern and the picots there down the edge. This is using January's Avery Lane Collections yarn. This was Hummingbird Hues. I was like, it's not blues. What is it? Hummingbird Hues. And this worked up really, really easy. 1 skein of a DK weight yarn. Absolutely love it. I thought it would make a really good shawl. So for about a month, it sat there blocked. And I just couldn't decide what I was going to do with it, how I wanted it to. But I did decide I have 80 bajillion shawls. I only have like 60 bajillion cowls. So, and it's very light. It's a very airy pattern. So this will be good in the transition. We are still covered in pollen down here. I mean, like everything is yellow. We just had rain yesterday and everything's already yellow again today. So, yay. Good spring. I'll be really glad it's wet for a while, and then I'll get sick of that too. But we're supposed to get some more rain either tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm really hoping we get it. Wash the yaller off, because it's yaller. And we're getting like the big pollen clusters falling. You go out to the mailbox, you feel it on your teeth, you get it in the eyeballs. But we're still having like certain parts of the day where it's like 30, 40. Like every day it doesn't rain. 30, 40 in the morning. And then it'll be like 75, almost 80 by the end of the day. And it was hilarious because where we went to see my brother and his family, like I dressed for the weather. I packed for the weather. I did a really good job. I did not take into account wind. It was quite windy. And that was hilarious because I would have been perfectly fine temperature-wise if I'd planned on wind. A lot more undershirts, long sleeve undershirts should have been worn. Or maybe like an ear warmer with my fleece would have been fine. Yes, I bring my lipstick down here so in between videos I can touch up because I'm constantly rubbing it off and I chew my lips and I sit here and drink. And all right. Next group of finished object things here. This is primarily what I worked on while I was gone. I told you guys I had other scrap gans I've been working on. So these are 10 by 10, 10 square by 10 square, corner to corners. These are using the scraps that could not be put into the granny squares. Or I had these weird balls that were like the mini balls from Lion Brand that I had gotten in some things. Some of these are like a Hobby Lobby mini ball. I thought I had gotten down to where I'm just in the bag that I got from Shell. Creative Chaos Crochet on Etsy. The vintage green bag that I just posted on Instagram. I guess I could post that picture here. I thought it was just where, like, now it's just in that bag. Because I had these scraps in a bag that I got from Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. And that bag. No, 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 no. Mes amis, no, no. I just found another flipping box of scraps. Like this size scraps. At least it's in a little like photo box. I don't know why they're in a photo box. Maybe it's from where I was like weighing a bunch of scraps for an advent calendar or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure some very adult language slipped out of my mouth when I came across that box. I was so annoyed because I thought there was a light at the end of the tunnel on these scrap squares. Because keep in mind, I don't just have this blanket going. I have last year's Advent scrap blanket going with the DK weight scraps, which is another corner to corner blocks. Then I have my spring blanket going. I have my hexagon blanket that I started last year. I have the granny square project that, like I said, I'm just going to wait until I have a whole tote full of granny squares. So it's like everything here is blanket, 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 which I don't mind. But I keep thinking like, oh, I'm going to go start something like fun and exciting. And then I look at what I have hanging there and I'm like, oh crap, well, I have like 80 bajillion scrap balls. But this is my car and travel project. Like, I'm not going to make this my bedtime project like I had with the granny squares. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm thinking I'm going to go with 2 blankets or maybe 3. One with the solid squares and one with the, I think I might do one with the half squares, and then the truly, truly scrappy ones I might save for another blanket. Maybe. But yeah, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is finally gone, I think. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I got 19 of these done over the weekend between flying there, flight home. It was like a short flight, so that was whatever, but like airport time. And then it was a mindless thing just to keep my hands busy while we were visiting. So, booyah. Put those in the basket down there. That way they're out of my way for a minute. Let's do WIPs. How long is this? We're already at like 15 minutes. Let's see. Let's see how fast I can talk. Oh, it's not going to be very fast. Because transitioning, if I have to bend, it's going to be. So like I said, I did do another stitch music, or I'm in the process of doing another stitch music. This one is using a size K hook and 3 mandala cakes. 2 are in that Mermaid Cove, and I'm not sure what this one is, but this one was a solo cake. So I've literally like 50-50 spliced this in. I've picked it up in different places. I've used one whole Mermaid Cove, but I'm to the V stitches down here on this end. But this is what this is looking like. And accidentally, somehow we went from the primary visible color for a lot of this up here was green. Like that's just really what catches your eye. And then as you move across, it moved to the purples being what caught your eye. And now we're into the purple or greens and blues doing it again. So I do love the way this has transitioned. Once again, this is obviously unblocked since I'm still working on it. This is the next prayer shawl. I just want to get, because we got a lot of depth here, and so try not to get twisted up in there. I just want a little bit on the edge for these V stitches. And as always with the show and tell, I will have the patterns in the description box down below, but I've only got the first V stitch done. I probably want to get at least 4 of those. So I might be able to finish this tonight. This is, you know, I am behind. I did start this while I was gone. I took both the squares and this, but this was the like sitting in the hotel trying to fall asleep kind of project, because I don't have to think about it, but I do have to pay attention to which side's the increase side. And I'd be heartbroken if I had to rip back multiple inches on this. Plus it's a little bit harder to, the larger your project gets, the harder it is to wield. But I have what I showed you in the other one, and this much of the Mermaid Cove left. And there's a little ball floating around down there. So if I have to, I can tuck into that. But I think I'll have more than enough to do 4 rows or 4 sets of the V-stitch section. And I may or may not do picots. I might do a rolled edge. I'm not sure how I want to finish it off yet. But that will stay flat. And that will be one of my donated projects for this year. But I love how it's turning out. I'm much, much happier with how... These are the 2 that I had originally meant to pair, but because I could only find the one of the far, far away, I was like, well, is that really what I meant to pair? But I'm feeling really good about this. I like how this is turning out. They blend a lot more seamlessly, even though I'm still convinced if I had continued with the Mermaid Cove and the far, far away, that should have worked out in the end. I just don't know why that looked so... Anyway. Oof. I feel so old. So this next thing I'm going to show you guys, I am incredibly excited about. This is one of those, I was on the internet and found the pattern and was like, yes, please, because I already had the yarn caked up because I knew this is the kind of project I wanted to do with it. I just hadn't found the right project for it, but I had caked it up last year. Actually, you can ask Erica because I pulled it out before I tested her shawl. And by the way, she has a new pattern release for a crocheted miter square blanket you need to go check out. I will leave that link down below. This is just going to be like a description box from Tartarus over here. Anyway, that will be my next scrap project. I made a couple of the squares and never submitted it as a tester, and then went out of town. And anyway, that's up. So go check that out. But I caked these up, and she's like, oh, when you're testing my shawl pattern, you can use those. And I was thinking, oh, yeah, great. Then I saw the pattern and knew I had that knit crate yarn and the blood moon and the stormy skies or whatever, moonlit skies. And I was like, no, this is what needs to be that. So I've had these 5 cakes sitting there forever, waiting to have something done with this. So this is called the Going on a Treasure Hunt. It's supposed to be a scarf. I added an extra 10 stitches to the repeat. But this is by Lisa Martin, and it doesn't look like much. It is a bias crochet. It's going to be shawl wrap width for me, I believe. By the time I block this, like this section's going to be, I mean, you can see where I've been like test stretching it just to see what it's going to be. But yeah, love it. That's what we have so far. That's the pink and green section. And I've done my transition here and moved into colors B and C, which are the green and blue. But and my little box of goodies here has my yarns. Now, these were dyed as released as a set. Don't they just look, come on. Red, green, blue, purple, gray. And it's like, I know I have one of these sitting here. This is the Surefoot sock yarn from Knit Picks. This is one of their sock lab releases. This is 2020, I believe. I don't know if they have that on here. But this is the Valentine's release. And it's like Cupid and cherub or something like that. Let's see what this other one says. Like the green is Cupid, the blue is Ladybird, the pink is Sweetheart, I believe. Yes. And these are obviously sock yarns. I mean, Surefoot sock yarn. But they were the Valentine's release. Like I shared with you guys the Halloween release or fall, because there was like vampire something or other. But I shared with you guys those. Every so often they will release a full collection like this. And this was one of the full collections. I actually did a tradesy with another crafter because I had something she really wanted. And she didn't, she's not a stasher. So she's like, I'll buy you what you want. Because that's what I was doing, a big no buy and trying to stick to my no buy. But she bought me this to gift me back for, and I came out so much better in that deal. These 5 skeins took up way less room in my stash than what she needed. So I got some space back on my wall, even though you can't tell. And I got the set that I wanted, but couldn't buy for myself. I had the budget, but was really trying very hard not to blow it at the beginning of the year. So, obviously I'm going to do this in like the rainbow order, just because that's very pleasing and I don't have to think about it. So the next one will be blue and purple, and then it'll be purple and gray. And if I have to, I can come back and do one more section if I feel like this isn't going to be long enough to be a scarf and or shawl. I can do a pink and gray section. So, but I'm loving how that turns out. And I love this transition where you just have this little bit of solid right there. And I do like, I'm not sure if this texture is really what it was supposed to be, but I did what worked for me. And I dropped my yarn ball again. Good grief. It's not yarn barf. It's actually where I pull it out to work on it because I'm laying in the bed generally when I'm working on this. Mercy, mercy, mercy. But I've got that, that's the actual bottom of the box. This was for moon cakes back. One of Troy's co-workers gifted us with that. They were delicious, by the way. There was the custard ones. If you've never had a moon cake, I highly recommend custard or red bean paste. Both are delicious. I know, but they're good. If you don't have a wheat and sugar problem, I highly recommend eating all of them. You can. All right, the last thing, and this will be like, we're already at 25 minutes, so this is gonna be like one of my longer videos of recent. But I got my new Yarnable for this month, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. I did get a coupon code this time. It was for 15% off. We got some binder clips, little bulldog clips that are mermaids, little mermaid tails, and she had these done because that is her branding. And those are mermaid binder clips designed by Yarnable. So no other information there. We did get a keychain this month. Sassy since birth, salty by choice. If I was more of a beach person, I would totally have this on my beach bag. And this is also designed by Yarnable. This is the first time we've really had a lot of the extras are an in-house project like this. Next up, we have Spa Bath Salts by Simply Organic Soap. And mine is infused with lemongrass essential oil. I've told you guys I am 100% down for the Epsom salt soak once a week, just so my bones don't hurt. And this is very, very softly scented. There's almost like a rose finish on that, but very, very soft. Let's see, sea salts, Epsom salts, Himalayan salt, red algae, Hawaiian sea salt, and lemongrass essential oil. So it's a very clean, very floral, but not hyper. You're not going to put this in your bath and be bowled over with scent like some of the other ones. And then last up, we have the yarn. And let me tell you guys, I just about like fainted in love with this. Y'all already know I'm addicted to the Yarnable yarns. I've kept the subscription box after reviewing them because I was just that in love with them. But come on. I mean, you knew where this was going because the mermaid theme, but seriously, come on. And I love the fact she did the same thing actually that the yarn I'm working with did, where you went with this very emerald tonish green along with the purple and the blue, really balancing out the color. It's not, I mean, there's sea foam in there, but it's very rich looking and makes it look incredibly luxe. I have some other sock yarn this will pair beautifully with in another project. This one is called Mermazing. It's the plush sock. So it's 85/15 superwash merino nylon, 437 grams or 437 yards. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So, I mean, we're just, because I've had so many other things I'm doing, you know, we're just building our stash of, I think I may have finally put up the one from Valentine's that I keep pulling out. But yeah, this year's colors, just as wonderful as when I was reviewing them. Still in love with the yarn. Still enjoy getting the box. I'm still bouncing at, like, I was so upset because I thought this was coming on Saturday. And I was like, no, my box is going to get there and I'm not going to be home. I got to wait a whole extra couple of days to get to it. And then I ended up not getting here till Monday. So it worked out in the end anyway. All right. I do not want to hold you any longer. By the time I'm done wrapping up and saying goodbye, it will have been 30 minutes. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to reach out to me personally, you can leave a comment. I do try to get back to these. I've been running a few videos behind, but I'm getting back. So you can leave me a comment and I will reply publicly down below. I promise I will eventually get to it. You can also shoot me an email, which is in the description box, or send me a PM on Instagram. I'm generally pretty easy to find, but there you go. Anyway, you guys, I love you. I look forward to seeing you real soon. I will have hopefully a video up on Saturday, which I'm about to film right now. We'll see how that works. See you real soon.